Discover the journey of resilience and strength in the face of disabilities. In this episode of Underestimated Strength, Dr. Erica Seaborn discusses personal stories and strategies for overcoming differential treatment. Stay tuned to be inspired and empowered.
In a world that tries to define me through eyes that cannot see, they speak in whispered tones, but they don't know the strength in me. Labels and shadows they cast on my way, but I've learned to rise above. With every challenge I find my own light, guided by faith and love. I see beyond the labels, I shine through the night. With every step I take, I'm guided by inner light. No more doubts, no more fears, I'm stronger than they know. In this journey I found my way, and I let my courage show. They think they know my story, but there's more than what meets the eye. In every struggle I've learned to grow, and I'm not afraid to try. With every misstep I found a new path, a testament to my strength. I'm more than their perceptions, I'm a spirit unbound in mess. I see beyond the labels, I shine through the night. With every step I take, I'm guided by inner light. No more doubts, no more fears, I'm stronger than they know. In this journey I found my way, and I let my courage show. They think they know my story, but there's more than what meets the eye. In every struggle I've learned to grow, and I'm not afraid to try. With every misstep I found a new path, a testament to my strength. I'm more than...
Welcome to Underestimated Strength, the podcast where we delve into the challenges and triumphs of individuals who face adversity with resilience. I'm Dr. Erica Seaborn, and today we're discussing an important topic: how being treated differently due to a disability can impact mental health, and what steps can be taken to handle those situations. Before diving into the broader topic, I would like to share a bit of my own personal journey. I was born with a visual impairment due to my albinism, and throughout my life, people have treated me differently, often speaking down to me in a condescending way or placing labels on me, such as telling me I have low self-esteem. And this treatment stems from their own personal discomfort and their ignorance about my genetic condition and visual impairment. And those experiences were not easy. They often left me feeling ostracized, isolated, and misunderstood. And however, they also shaped me, helping me develop an underestimated strength and resilience by the grace of God. I've learned to forge on, despite others' opinions, and finding power in my God-given uniqueness and capabilities. Now let's discuss the emotional impact of differential treatment. Let's explore how such differential treatment affects individuals emotionally and psychologically. When people with disabilities are treated differently, it can foster a sense of otherness and isolation. Constantly being reminded of your uniqueness, not through words, but through actions and attitudes, can erode self-esteem and create feelings of inadequacy. And it's apparent when someone is treating you differently. I know this from personal experience. They will change their tone of voice, their mannerisms, their gestures, just everything. You can sense it, even though they deny it. And for many, those experiences are akin to trauma and a series of interactions that accumulates over time, leading to anxiety and depression. And the challenging part is that these interactions often arise from misunderstanding or misguided intentions. Now let's dive into understanding capability and breaking stereotypes. Having a disability does not mean being less capable. People with disabilities, including those with visual impairments like mine, often develop unique strengths and skills, and it's crucial to recognize each person's talents and achievements individually. And personally, I believe everyone has some type of disability, if I may say that. No one is 100% perfect. Someone somewhere may appear not to have some type of disability. But if you were to ask them to do something and they admitted that they needed help doing it, that reveals that they have some type of shortcoming. But yet they want to deflect their insecurities and try not to show you their shortcomings because they want to appear to be perfect. They try to make others feel like they're less than worthy of them or less valuable than them, which is a better way of saying it. And many of us have accomplished remarkable things, whether in sports, academics, arts, or everyday life. Our strength is often underestimated, which is why this podcast exists, to highlight and celebrate those strengths. Everyone has an underestimated strength, and we shouldn't compare someone to anyone else because of a physical shortcoming, if you may. We're all human. No one is perfect. So no one has the right to make you feel ostracized because of their ignorance. And let's discuss the impact of condescending communication. Another critical aspect is communication. Speaking to someone condescendingly implies inferiority, which is disrespectful and damaging, and it discourages individuals from expressing themselves fully and contributes to stress and anxiety. And I can attest to this. I remember an incident where I was at a work function and one of the managers was talking to me and she looked uncomfortable being around me, and she said to me, "Oh, do you need help with this?" And talking to me as if I was different from everyone else, as if I wasn't a human being, as if I couldn't handle things. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm over 50 plus years old. I'm not ashamed to say it. And you're talking to me as if I'm 3. It made me feel so uncomfortable that I'm like, I don't know how to act around this person. Why are they doing this? Why are they talking to me this way? And I could have stooped to her level and spoken down to her, but I'm not like that. I try to respect everyone. And I don't like to make anyone feel inferior or ostracized either, or belittle them. But I will advocate for myself. I will tell you that. How I handled it, I just answered her questions politely. I said, "No, I'm good. Thank you." But it was very apparent. And whenever they would socialize, they all got into their little huddles, but left me out. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is too obvious. How did I handle it? I kept my head up. I smiled. I was polite to everyone. I waited until the event was over and I departed ways, and I thought to myself, this reveals a lot about what they really think of me. And it also was evident in the assignments they gave me. They also made me feel like I couldn't handle anything. And it was hurtful because I'm thinking all of these years I dealt with discrimination and physical and spiritual abuse from others because of my uniqueness. And to deal with it from people who are my own age or older, it's even more troubling and disturbing because you would think that they're more mature than that. But age doesn't define maturity. It really doesn't. And my advice to you would be to continue to be yourself. And in private, just remind yourself that no matter how someone treats you or how they try to make you feel inferior, you have to remind yourself that they're human too. And no matter how different they try to make you feel or how unworthy they try to make you feel, you have to remind yourself that they are naive or not ignorant about how people are created differently. Just because someone may have, I don't like the word disability, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of another word. I'm just going to say uniqueness. And just because someone may need extra assistance or help because of their uniqueness, they should not be treated any differently than anyone else. We're all human. All of us have shortcomings. And it's sad to say that people who are supposed to be mature don't recognize that. So whenever you do come into contact with people like that, try to show them some grace and mercy, even if they don't extend it to you. Because you can't allow someone to affect your character. Don't stoop to their level. That's what I recommend. Do not stoop to their level. Rise above it. That makes you stronger. And also, part of having underestimated strength is showing grace to others. Resilience also shows mercy. And by that I mean, you know they're talking down to you and treating you differently. You don't want to be ugly and talk down or treat them differently. Because you know, if you don't like being treated that way, you know no one else would. Tit for tat doesn't work. It only makes a situation worse. Be mature about it. Show grace. Even if they're not showing it back, be the bigger person. And maybe they'll learn from your behavior, from the way you're responding to them. That's the only way sometimes you can help someone understand from your perspective about your resilience and your capabilities is by showing them by your actions how you treat them and how you respond to them. Because if you respond to them on their own level by attacking them or ostracizing them, then you're no better than they are. You're just showing them their weakness in a mirror. My advice to you is to show them your strength. And maybe that will help them grow and teach them a lesson. Because they don't know. Many people don't know that they're causing trauma in other people by treating them in a bad way like that, by ostracizing them. They don't know. Now, when you encounter situations like that, I would like to discuss steps to handle those type of situations and that type of treatment. And if you have been treated unfairly, I would just recommend trying to practice these steps. It's not going to be easy. But the more you put these into practice, the more it will help you develop resilience, empathy, compassion, and be the better person. First of all, acknowledge your feelings. Recognize and validate your emotions. It's okay to feel upset or frustrated when you're treated unfairly. Secondly, communicate assertively. If you're comfortable, address the situation directly by using I statements to express how their treatment made you feel. For example, you could say, I felt disrespected when you spoke to me that way. I wouldn't recommend telling them, you did this and you did that. No. That type of anger and defensive language will only make situations worse. So it's best to calm yourself down and say, I felt this way when you treated me this way. Calm yourself down and use I statements. Thirdly, use the opportunities to educate them when possible. Offering a perspective can help others understand. And when you share your experiences and capabilities, you can challenge their misconceptions and their lack of knowledge about it. Also, be sure to seek support. Connect with a community or a support group. And sharing your experiences with others who understand can be incredibly empowering. Find people who have experienced similar situations to yours or who you sense have the same type of disability you have. Because when you share similar experiences, you can help each other build up that resilience and possibly seek solutions on how to deal with it. And it's very encouraging when you have someone you can lean on. And I admit, over the years, I have not had much of that. I had people who told me I'm not defending myself well enough, and they didn't fully understand the situations, or they told me I'm not being assertive enough. And I'm thinking, you're just not understanding. And sad to say, as a Christian believer, most of the criticism I got were from fellow believers, people who profess to be believers. And most of the labels I got came from fellow believers telling me, oh, your voice is, you're insecure and you're this and you're that. And I'm thinking, no, I am not. And what's even worse is some people would tell me, well, God told me to tell you you're insecure. And I'm standing there like, if we serve the same God, he sure enough didn't say that to me. And it's not in his word. And I do not have low self-esteem. And you may ask, well, if you didn't have it, why didn't you defend yourself? Why didn't you tell them you don't? Defending myself against someone who is mislabeling me because of their perceptions and their opinions of me, to me, is not very mature. Just because they feel a certain way or want to try to bring me down, to make me feel less than they are, I'm not going to try to come to their level. I'm not going to stoop down for anybody like that. I just pray for them and try to show them grace. And it's hurtful when someone reveals how they truly feel about you like that in a negative way. It is. It's very hurtful. I will say that. It's disappointing because you thought, oh, I thought you believed in me. I thought you cared about me, but apparently you just have some other type of agenda. Pray for them, move on, shake what they said off. I know it's not going to be easy, but if you know who you are, it doesn't matter what people say about you or how they try to label you. It really doesn't. Also, focus on self-care. Now, this is something that I really had to work on myself, focusing on self-care, because I always try to look out for other people. And it's sad to say, the very people that you look out for sometimes will not look out for you in the same way. They will come to you when they need something, because they always expect you to be this support system. And it can be selfish on their behalf when they come to you but not be there for you when you need them. Still show them grace. Be the bigger person. Anyhow, let's get back to self-care. This is something I need to work on myself, and I'm improving in this area. You have to prioritize activities and practices that nurture your mental and emotional well-being. And this could be through hobbies, meditation, prayer, and professional support. And just doing things that you enjoy doing. And I've gotten better at that. I've improved upon that over the years. Taking better care of myself. Even though there are some people who tell me, you need to take better care of yourself. I'm like, look, I know what I do in my private time. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. That's why it's important to take care of yourself. How are you going to be good for anyone else when you're not good to yourself? You can't take care of someone else if you're not taking care of yourself. That just sums it all up. Also, this is very important, this next step. Know your rights. Be informed about your rights, especially in contests like education and employment. Knowing your rights is empowering, and it helps you to advocate better for yourself, for fair treatment. I had to do some research on my own about fair treatment in the workplace and as far as educational systems as well too. And you can't always rely on people to tell you what resources are available. You have to do the digging for yourself. And while you're doing that digging, you will discover some things that you didn't know. And it will help build your strength and your resilience as well. And you'll be able to defend yourself better as well. I encourage you to do research for yourself, because there might be things that people are not telling you about, or they may not know about themselves, and you could educate them as well. And when you do the research and advocate for yourself, you may be able to advocate for someone else going through the same thing you were going through. So it helps build your resilience and helps build a better network of resilience with people who are developing their resilience with going through those situations as well. So I encourage you, if you want to advocate for yourself, do the digging, do the research, because you never know. What you may know may help someone else. And I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Underestimated Strength. This will not be the last time I'll be discussing this topic. It's just the beginning. That's what this podcast is for. And I want you to remember your strength is not defined by others' perceptions, but by your resilience and your abilities. Embrace your unique capabilities and continue to rise above challenges. Until the next time we meet, stay strong and empowered on purpose in your underestimated strength. God bless you, and thank you for tuning in and for your support.
Turning weaknesses into strengths. Oh, how